This is Goroka, the capital of the Highlands. With its cars and bustling crowds, it is a long way from the calm waters of the great river Sepik. It is also the coffee capital. In the 1950s, Australian gold diggers entrusted some of the region's inhabitants with the task of growing a coffee variety imported from Jamaica, Blue Mountain. The favourable climate in the mountains made it possible to produce one of the most flavoursome coffees in the world. Now the cultivation of this precious bean provides the region's population with its main source of income. It is here, in these remote villages, that the beans which supply the world's best restaurants are harvested. In Kimiagomo, one man had to fight to convince fellow villagers to take part in the venture. With money from selling coffee, they could envisage another future and break out of their isolation.
This school was called Kamui Community School, but a war broke out between two clans and the school was shut down for 14 years. Thanks to the work of our coffee cooperative, we were able to rebuild the school. The money they make from coffee has allowed parents to fund their children's education. They can also buy them clothes, soap, notebooks. That's all thanks to coffee. Good day, sir.
Hello, Jonah.
It's always a pleasure to see someone who works for the good of our children.
Jonah fought hard for a school to be opened in this village. We've been teaching children here for 6 months now.
In this region, where dialects change from one valley to the next, the children learn to read and count in pidgin, a form of English with Papuan undertones. It is an essential tool for learning to communicate with other clans and tribes.
7. So 28 divided by 4 is, the answer is 27. Okay, now let's count.
Here in the Highlands it's different. Some students need to walk 7 to 8 kilometers to school. Some students give up after walking long distance. So I'm feel proud of it when they are improving. And when they catch what I taught them in the classroom, when they catch up, this.
It was on these hillsides surrounding the village that Jonah decided they should grow coffee. To begin with, people were sceptical. But today, the village has several hundred coffee trees.
Here we grow 2 different varieties of coffee, Arusha and Blue Mountain. The soil is black on top and red underneath. The roots of the coffee plants take their nourishment from that red soil. Our coffee gets all of its flavor from that red soil. That's why it's such good quality coffee. That one's no good. The yellow and green berries are no good. It's the dark red berries I keep telling you about that we want. Look, when I squeeze it, the bean just pops out. That means it's ripe. I often explain to growers in the cooperative how to select the ripe fruit from their trees. That way they'll earn more money. Now I'm dreaming of a road to the village. I'm dreaming of an even better school. I'm dreaming of a hospital. I'm dreaming of running water. Now we must conquer new markets. Our coffee could be exported, and my dream is for that money to be used for the community.
Up until now, the villagers have made do with subsistence farming, often disrupted by changeable weather. Living conditions are hard. That's why Jonah has devoted all of his energy to this venture, convinced that his coffee beans are worth their weight in gold.
Go and sit by the fire. It's cold, sweetheart. Go a bit closer. The only thing that matters to my husband is developing the village, and we support him in that. We pray for him. It all started 13 years ago, and we're finally starting to see the fruits of our labor.
Look at my house. I've devoted my life to this project and neglected my own home. I don't have a nice house for my family to live in. When it rains, it leaks everywhere. But I hope all of my sacrifices will allow my children to have a good education.
Daddy, did you bring any more sweets back from the village?
You've got lots already.
No, they're nearly all gone. You've eaten them all. What a waste.
It's true.
I sell them to my friends.
I'm glad to see my daughter is business-minded.
Here in Kimiagomo, in the mountain mist, a celebration is being organised, and Jonah is in charge once again. It is the end of the coffee season. The harvest is over, and everyone has worked hard. They deserve a small reward.
Now we're going to follow tradition. We've decided to get the whole community together. Whenever there's a big event, we invite everyone to a feast.
Once again, Jonah has thought big. For the occasion, he's organised a mumu, a feast consisting of a whole pig braised in a clay oven.
We're going to have a feast. It's a nice fat pig. It's going to be delicious.
It will take an hour to cook, and then we can eat.
An hour is just enough time for Jonah to tell everyone the good news.
Come closer, everyone, so you can hear me. Our Corgnet cooperative has existed now for 13 Christmases. We've worked hard over the years, gradually making progress. We have never given up. We have carried on fighting. Finally, the government thinks that we are ready to take part in the coffee competition to decide which is the best coffee in Papua New Guinea. So I'd like to thank those of you here who have supported me from the start. You have been behind me, you have listened to me, and it is your coffee that they're going to be tasting. We must make sure that every coffee bean is top quality, so that if we win the trophy, it will remain in these mountains for good. When we sell our coffee, we are conned. Its true value is kept hidden from us. The exporters lie to us. They refuse to acknowledge how good our coffee is. If we win, we won't need them anymore. We'll be able to sell directly to foreign distributors, so we'll get a better price, and all of the producers here will earn more money. The whole village will benefit.
Get ready. We'll be serving the food soon. We must all work hard to export our coffee. That way, we'll have the money for development. We'll have cars and solid houses. We'll get a nice church built. We'll have lovely houses with corrugated metal roofs. All will be well because the coffee will take care of us.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
They are not afraid to dream big in Kimiagomo. Here, they have always known how to make do with very little. But everyone is entitled to progress, even a remote community in the mountains of Papua New Guinea, whose future may lie in these coffee beans which are being prepared to be sent to the town.
Luckily, we elders are here to lend a hand. Buy me a present in Goroka to say thank you, will you? I don't work for nothing.
Okay, once the beans have been washed, they need to be dried. That is also an opportunity to remove the husks. When we sell our coffee, it is of variable quality. The exporters cheat and buy all of it at the lowest price. But that's a good bean. It's clean and healthy. It's perfect. It was picked at the right moment. They did a good job. Careful, we're losing the beans. Lift the sack from underneath. Mind you don't spill any. Gently. We must hurry. If it starts raining, the road will be impassable. Here in Kimiagomo, we have no lorries, but we have got coffee. So whenever we need to transport our coffee, we've got to call for a driver.
This coffee lorry also serves as a taxi service for the community. Vehicles are so rare here that you'd have to be mad not to take advantage of it. Especially as the rainy season is approaching, this might be the last chance to go into town.
When it rains, I don't travel. The road gets too slippery. It's more of a mud track than a road. It's dangerous. You see all these bends, all these cliffs? It's impossible to drive along here when it's slippery.
The cargo is bound for Goroka, the coffee capital. The die has been cast. Now the villagers must wait. In 1 week, they will know whether or not their coffee is the best in Papua New Guinea. Jonah has had to fail.
Thank you, my friend. Goodbye. Thank you for bringing me this far. I'm not far from my village now. See you another time. Thank you.
He has defied the prejudices of the naysayers, who claimed that a small highland village had no place in a national competition. For him, too, something has just changed irrevocably.
Children, come with me. I've got some big news. Come on, quickly. My dear friends from Kimiagomo, I have something important to announce. I'm going to tell you about my trip. As you know, we entered a major coffee competition. We were competing alongside producers from all over the country. There were tasters there from all over the world who came to select the best coffee in Papua New Guinea. And for the first time ever, a cooperative from Kimiagomo, this tiny remote village high up in the mountains, has won the competition. Man of the match! We are the prime ministers of the coffee world. Now we know we have the best coffee in the country.